Too many lives, 25 years or fewer. Nothing we receive is brand new. It's just.
Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
My name is Rory Farrell.
And today we have
Adam Brown.
Adam Brown. And who are you with?
I am with Berkshire Hathaway.
That's awesome.
Welcome. Second time you've been in this room in the past probably a couple weeks.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, wow.
true. I had a settlement in this room.
Yeah, me and you met a couple weeks. It's probably more than a couple weeks
Yeah, I
ago
think
at this
it was over
point.
the
Time's
summer.
flying.
Yeah, it was over the summer, but I mean, I remember this place being so great, like visible, right? You know, on my drive by. I came back today.
Yeah, there
Great
you
to
go.
be here.
Awesome. I thought this was like much longer. I thought you guys were talking about like a year ago. I didn't realize this was in the summertime. This is recent.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. So you do remember The Office. That's why I was like, most people come in, they're like, yeah, I was here like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
So, all right, you're in Ambler. We've met, we had mutual clients recently. We had a settlement, like come on the podcast. So have you been doing real estate your whole life, or how'd you get into real estate?
Funny you ask. So I graduated college and I did it like most kids. I did not know what I was going to do.
Yep.
And my parents were like, you have to do something. So I ended up getting my teaching degree. And I taught in Philly for 14 years. So I taught in Northeast Philly.
Damn, dude.
Eighth grade. I always say that like it was an amazing experience. I'm glad I got out when I did.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting my real estate license. I plan to do both for the rest of my life. Like I planned for that, and then I was able to transition into full-time realtor.
Dude, that's awesome.
You said I'm glad I got out what I did. Was there like a pivotal moment where you're like, now's the time? Without disclosing too much.
Right. So I say glad I got out when I did, because I would not have survived COVID in the classroom. Like,
Yeah.
just wouldn't have done that.
yeah.
I had to do it with my kids, and that was a big enough challenge there. But I was coaching basketball while I was teaching. I was coaching in a suburban high school where I went, and it was great. And I ended up getting an interview with that district. Had I gotten that job, I probably wouldn't have gotten my real estate license.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
I didn't get the job, and thank God I didn't, because, total life changer. I was able to get into this field, and it's been great.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's a really crazy story, actually. I feel like we do have a decent amount of background with teachers, though. Like a lot of people transition out of being teachers and come into real estate. Because, I mean, number one, it's like in real estate, metaphorically, sometimes you're dealing with children. It's like you got to walk people through the process and help them out. And it's like being a teacher really gives you that background of just breaking it down for everybody and helping them.
Totally. And the transaction that we had, I went to the first showing with that buyer, and he's like, were you my teacher? I taught him.
Did you really?
I taught him.
That's so funny. And there is a giant, shout out, my fiance's Albanian, so that's how I have that connection with him. And there's a giant Albanian population in Northeast Philadelphia for whatever reason. Yeah.
It's crazy. And he was like,
what a small world.
So my first year teaching, he was in one of the classes that I was servicing. And then I fast forward and I see him at the first showing.
That's so funny.
So he recognized you, or you recognized him, or both? Or?
I thought he looked familiar. He recognized me.
Yeah.
And he's like, were you a teacher? Were you my teacher? I think is what he said. I'm like, easily could have been.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. And what did you like teach any subjects specifically?
Yeah, I taught math.
Okay.
Yeah, I taught 8th grade math. So, and it was like the school I was at, it was a K-8 school. So like I had all the 8th graders. So that means I had the honors classes, and then I also had the inclusion classes, which I mean, honestly, like I always say that like going through that and like, going through teaching helped me to be motivated enough on this field to not go back to teaching.
It's gotta be brutal. Yeah.
It was great.
It's a lot. And then, so you go from teaching, you get your real estate license, you plan on doing both of them. But how did you decide, hey, I'm going to get my real estate license? Was it somebody in your life that?
So when I didn't get that teaching job, I stopped coaching basketball. And I was like, what can I do? Like in my network, what aren't people? What don't we have? And
it's an interesting way to look at it. Like, how do I fill a gap?
Exactly.
That's so interesting. I've never heard anyone say that.
And I like, and I think that like my circle and networks is great for that type of stuff. Like, I'm just like, well, what can I do that like my friends and relatives and things would latch on?
Yeah.
And so, so I got my real estate license. I just kind of decided to do it. And then progression. Like first year I did 5 deals, then 10. Probably could have left after that second year, but I did not. I did a third year where I did both. Probably was the worst teacher in the city. I was like just rolling. I was just rolling, going to showings like during class, like would have somebody else like watch my class.
I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's right around the corner. I'll be right back.
It was honestly like I really towed the line. And then I was able to kind of say I can comfortably get out of here.
That's
So
awesome.
that third year, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, now it's obvious.
The reason why I did it, so my youngest, my third year when I did both, she was born. I needed the benefits to
Yep.
Right, that makes sense. To get through.
Yeah, to get through parenthood.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, absolutely, man. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then, so has that been? That's what my follow up question was going to be. So you start growing your business, you get more and more busy. Is it like your sphere of influence you're getting business from, or were you getting fed leads? Like
It was all, I mean, I think that, and when we get to talk about like our team, like I think our team is extremely unique because we don't buy leads. Like
Yeah.
we're strictly like referral stuff.
that's
So
awesome.
it's nerve wracking when like things slow down a little bit. Like, should we be doing more? But like, I just think that like our niche and where we're good is like, we do a good job and then that person refers us to whoever,
Yeah.
relative, parent, friend. And that's how it's really grown.
And okay, so then what year was this?
So 2017, 2018.
Okay.
The 2018, June of 2018 was when I went full time.
Full time. Okay. And were you on this team?
No,
Were you on Philly to the Burbs, or?
So I started at Keller Williams
Okay.
in Horsham, which I loved.
Yeah.
And I joined with one of my partners, Josh Hirsch, who, I mean, I'm 5'7", he's 6'9".
Yeah,
I don't know if you
Josh
met
is
him.
man. Yeah.
All right. So we joined Keller Williams the same day in 2015. We were both doing other stuff, and we always said if we both went full time, we would team up. So he was already full time. I went full time. We teamed up. We started Philly in the Burbs. Fast forward a couple years, we end up leaving Keller Williams and join our current partners, also Ashley Check and Karen Langsfeld. And they were with Berkshire Hathaway. We really didn't want to go there. They didn't want to come to Keller Williams, which I understand. We met in the middle at Compass. So
That's okay. This is making a lot of sense now. Okay, as you explain this, because I remember seeing Josh. I ran into him somewhere. And I'm like, I'd love to meet with this team at some point in time. And I think you guys were a Compass. And then when I went to your office at Berkshire Hathaway, I was so confused because I was like, I could have sworn they were Compass, but okay, all right.
So we were Compass,
Yep.
and then it just got to a point for us that we didn't feel it was the best fit for us. So we talked to a couple people, but our setup at Berkshire Hathaway is great. Like, we moved there last February, so February of this year, and it's been great. Like, it's been better than both of the last two stops.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like when people pop around, they often say like, and when they get to the place where they're meant to be, they're like, oh yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah, and it's like,
And there's no right or wrong way. It's just where do you
Right.
feel most comfortable? Where do you get the resources you need?
Yep. And like we always say, like, we don't want to be that team that's like going from here to there and switching every year. Like, we're looking for a spot to stay, and the way that it currently is has been fantastic. So,
That's awesome. That's more than you can ask for,
Yep.
honestly.
yep.
So it's the 4 of you guys now.
4 of us, and then we have a couple agents on our team as well. It's fluctuated how many people we've had.
Yeah.
But it's great, and like the spot we're at, it's easy to come to work because it's a great office. There's things nearby, so it's been wonderful.
Yeah, that's really. They're in that like cool. They're in Drescher and that.
The promenade in Drescher.
Yeah, it's like apartment buildings above stores.
I
It's pretty
saw
nuts.
it. I'm sure I've passed it a million times. I'm trying
Yeah.
to like, picture it in my head. But it does, I mean, it really matters, like, obviously who you work with, but like your physical location.
Yeah.
Like I love being in this building. It's just us. You know, it's
Oh,
like
it's
you're
amazing.
not like passing the hallway with some accountant that you don't know who's like 100 years old and cranky. Like
Yeah.
we can be ourselves in here. We can take over this and do a podcast.
Yep.
Goof off, have
Goof
fun.
off, play music.
Yeah.
Like, and I can yell across the office if Mike's got I got a question for Mike.
Oh.
Like it's just having that, the office space.
I think it's great. We have like a little mini hoop in there. We have a putting green in there, so it's every now and again we do some actual work, but
Yeah.
it's great to like practice my putting.
No,
when you have
yeah.
free time, yeah, it's nice to have a little extracurricular.
But
And
it helps though too, because it gives you that environment of like everybody in here does their work and
Exactly.
does what they need to do.
Yep.
But it's like, hey, if you want to listen to music or make stupid videos or come up here and do a podcast, and we do a ton of that too.
or play
you know?
pranks.
Yeah, oh, they love scaring each other. We love
really?
like that's a big thing here. Yeah, yeah, especially
Coming
Kathy.
around a corner, like boom.
Yeah, somebody's there in your face. Oh,
You got to make sure they're not hot, like hot soup or coffee or something.
Rory has a video on Instagram of me walking in the door and he scared me and I like my whole body like twitches like this. Like it was so bad. But that's what goes on. Now, I mean, it sounds like you guys are in the office a decent amount. Or?
So we usually start our day in the office. Like I take my oldest. So I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Ninth grade, which is pretty ridiculous that I even have a ninth grader.
Well, you should know how to handle that. You were 8th grade for so long.
You would think. But
easy, right?
Totally bullies me. So I have ninth grade boy, 7th grade boy, 3rd grade girl. So I take my 9th grader to school and then I just come right into the office. So I'm in
Gotcha.
7:30.
I say they're there early.
Yeah, it's great. And it's great. Like I'm there, I get my day started, and then sometimes I'm there until noon, sometimes I'm there until 10, depending on what my day is looking like. But I always typically will start there, get my brain gear,
Yeah.
and then start.
You can get a lot done at 7:30.
Oh,
like,
it's great.
That's the best time. That's when I come in.
Loves coming in
I
early,
come
no
in
one's
early. I
bothered.
come in at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I just sit here. I put music on, and I could put it at like full volume
Yep.
and just work and get in like a flow state for an hour.
Yep.
And then as soon as everybody starts rolling in, I shut the music off, and then I sit on my phone for like 15 minutes.
So we have the same basic plan.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and I.
yeah, exactly. So it kind of helps out. But that's
I'd say
good.
for you guys though, it's like you're moving and shaking all the time anyway. So like getting those first couple hours of like, hey, I'm gonna
Totally.
get down to business, get
Yep.
these emails returned, yada
100%.
yada. I mean, we're not out and about as much,
Right.
Showings and stuff like that. So it's like we're here a lot.
Yeah, and I try to, so many people ask me like, do you work a lot on the weekends? Do you work a lot at nights? I mean, sometimes I do if it calls for it. What I try to do is get all my showings done like midday or weekend mornings because my kids play sports.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss that.
Yep.
So I try to make sure that I can plan it where I'll show it whenever, as long as I can get to my kids' activities. So, so far so good.
Yeah.
The delicate balance, like especially as you have kids. I have 2 young kids. You don't have kids yet, but like he'll be on the phone at like 10 o'clock sometimes, but
Yep.
like that's what fits into his schedule.
Correct.
And a lot of your clients' schedules are similar
Yeah.
to that. Whereas like, if I at the same, I'm more with like you, like, all right, I'll fit it around my kids' schedules. Like 5 to like 8 p.m. ish is like, all right, I want to be at home. I want to dinner with kids, but I'll jump on a call at 8 o'clock at night because they're already down.
Right, exactly.
And same thing in the mornings. Like I try and like get them to school, get them breakfast, like all that stuff. But like right after that, so it's like it is nice having that flexibility in this industry. And when you've gotten to a point where you're like 10 years in, you can push back a little bit and be like, that's cool. I'm not available. Whereas if you're like
Right.
brand new, you're like,
I'll
take
do
everything
whatever.
I
I'll
get.
do,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever. The issue comes in when, I want to get to my kids' stuff, then I have to work, and then I'll tell my wife, like, all right, between 1 and 4 on Sunday, like I can't do anything either because I got to watch the Eagles, and then I have my sport restrictions there. So
100%. Yeah. You a golfer too? You're saying about
I
playing?
play. I
As do I.
yeah, I play.
It's a good answer.
Good. That's a great way to put it, actually.
Anyone who says something like, yeah, no, I'm a great golfer, you're like, oh, come on.
You're like, yeah, okay. All right.
I'm not great. I'm not awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you normally shoot? Would you say?
I'm usually like low 90s.
All right. So you're pretty decent, actually. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I'm like
Mid-90s.
I'm like a 110 guy. So
Okay.
you're good. Yeah. But I'll go out with buddies that are like mid 70s. It's a nightmare.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's like my new hobby now, unfortunately.
It's great.
And I
Where
was
do you
just
play?
I'm America's guest, dude. I'll play wherever. That's where I don't care. I played at John Burns yesterday in Northeast Philly, which is actually really nice. I thought
It is nice.
I was driving into like Port Richmond. I'm like,
Yeah.
where the hell am I? And then you make like a left. There's like a little pro shop, and then the course just opens up in the back of Philadelphia. It's crazy.
You've
but
been out a bunch recently.
yeah. I mean, Fox Hollow and Quakertown. I play up north in the Poconos a lot, where like I grew up because I'm back there
Right.
all the time.
Yep.
But anywhere I can get on.
Nice.
That's pretty much what I try and do. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But I was gonna say was like listening to all this stuff about having kids and being like married and working around the schedule. It gives me so much anxiety because I'm like my schedule right now is legitimately like, hey, the phone rings or vibrates, I pick it up, I talk to them. 12 o'clock at night, 7 in the morning, I don't care. But I know that's gonna change, especially with just getting engaged and getting ready to move
You
in.
did just get engaged.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
But like we'll probably be moving in April, May, and there's gonna be like a whole different schedule and everything's gonna be. I'm like, here we go. Like,
Yeah.
it's all
No,
happening.
it definitely changes, but it is great. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, I like to complain about it than like you know, like anyone
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
But it is great. So,
No, I'm looking
congratulations.
forward to it.
That's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
So,
as you kind of move into that phase of life, your sphere also like your people who you're doing business with often will also be similar schedules.
Having
it's like
kids
right
and
now, you
doing
guys
stuff.
wild. All the wild kids, mid-20s, just out and about, and like sometimes he tells me a story. I'm like, dude, I was asleep by then. Like,
Totally.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, would you be I was grabbing dinner last night with a realtor 7 a night. You know what I mean? Would you be doing that or?
no, what was I doing? I was at gymnastics.
Yeah.
At 7 o'clock last night. On my way home, making dinner, getting kids to bed,
Yeah.
baths, and that's what I was doing at 7 o'clock last night.
And the best part about just like the whole progression of like going through life, getting engaged, having kids, whatever, is that you then can get business from your kids or
Yeah.
your wife's friends or
Yeah.
whatever. So like, you know,
Schoolmates.
I would go to like a birthday party for my kids and I'd be talking about real estate. And like that was part of what helped me get from education into real estate.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it too. And it's like, you know, now while I have this time, I'm just like really grinding away at my business and growing it and expanding it. So hopefully maybe in, 10 years when I'm at that point, it's like, hey, I have enough of a basis where I don't have to worry about if the phone rings, I'm like so urgent to grab it, but
Yep.
who knows?
When you get your own swag too, you're walking around, people are like, oh, what's that?
Exactly.
Probably helps.
That
Yeah.
does help.
Right.
It does help.
100%. Now, I guess my next question I was going to ask on the podcast was, do you have any like plans with your team? Do you guys want to get to a certain point? Do you like the level you're at? Do you like, what's the next 5 years look like for you?
So I think we're doing great. Like over the course of time, I mean, we've gone through different markets. Last year we did, I don't know the numbers offhand, but like around 60 million as a team, which I think is great.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And then this year we're kind of right there as well. And like the markets have changed a little bit. So I just think we're doing like, so far we're doing well. And but I think the progression for us is like, we want to be the go-tos in various areas, especially Upper Dublin.
Okay.
Upper Dublin, like the Wissahickon Township or Wissahickon School District.
Yep.
And then Ashley and Karen, our other partners, do a ton in like Jenkintown, Huntington Valley. So just getting more market share in those areas, I think.
Hitting those markets hard. That's kind of the goal. No, it
it's
makes a lot of
funny.
sense.
I think so you got Philly in the burbs,
Yep.
but you also Jersey, obviously, because that's
yes.
kind of a burb, I guess you can of Philly,
Correct.
right?
Correct. So the Jersey stuff, like I'll do South Jersey and
I think you were a listing agent on an offer that went in, which I think it ended up not getting accepted.
in Jersey.
In Jersey, though, I forget where that was. Marlton, maybe that area. I don't know, but yeah, I remember being like, "Oh, cool, I'll give him a ring."
Yeah, no, I do. You know what? I do remember that. I forget what.
I remember the client. I always remember the client's name. I never remember the address.
Yeah. And I'll do the short. But anywhere else, like I don't feel like I'm providing a good enough service.
No, it makes sense.
So I'll focus on like those areas in Jersey, and then here, like I'm pretty comfortable in most areas here. So.
I think that's a really smart thing to do, though. Instead of going like, I think people look at you a lot better as a person, just to say, "Hey, look, like these are my stomping grounds." And it's like, look, I would love to help you, but I think it's better off if you do X, Y, and Z. It's
Yep.
like, just keeps it in the back of mind.
And you could provide a referral at that point, which then
Totally.
come back to you probably at some point in the
the
future.
hope.
Yeah, the karma.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the hope. So, but around here, I mean, we're now to the point where we've worked in a bunch of areas where I'm pretty comfortable in like literally Philly and the burbs. So it's been great.
And do you focus like mainly on first time buyers or just any like investors, anything like that, or no? Just
Like I have some investors. Like right now, I'm working with a first time buyer. It just fluctuates based on our sphere, I think.
Yeah.
I think that different buyers will come to us through our sphere, and we have to be able to cater to them.
that's awesome, man. I mean, 60 million as a team just off of like your sphere and networking,
crazy.
and that's killer.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that all of us kind of want to do more and keep building it and keep growing it. But when you take a step back and look at like the actual numbers, and like we're not the biggest team in the world. So I think when you look at that stuff, like I'm impressed by it.
Oh yeah, you should be 100%. Yeah, no, and the reason I asked the other question is there's sometimes we have realtors that come on, they're like, no, I'm like first time home buyers only, or hey, I want to get like investor portfolios or whatever it is. But it's like when you're building that sphere, you're not really saying like, hey, I only want you to call me when you have an investor. You're like, call me with anybody you got, and I'm happy to help them. You know?
Correct. And the things that we are doing, so we don't buy leads, but I got licensed as a senior real estate specialist. So working with seniors, the transition from their house to the downsize or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I got that certification. We've met with, some elder care attorneys that can kind of help us, and we can learn a little bit more. And then Ashley and Karen are divorce certified. So, it's tough to publicize like, hey, if you just got divorced, call us. But they do a great job, especially because there's two of them, and they can kind of take both sides and know that everyone's kind of working for the same
like navigate that.
Yep.
Yeah. I did see that on your website. I forgot that I saw that, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask what that meant. There was like divorce certified.
So tell me, if you don't mind, because this is the first time anyone's brought that up, how, just kind of the bullet points of how is it different to work with someone maybe in their later life versus a first-time home buyer? Like, what do you look for? What's the difference?
So I think the biggest thing is that you just have to be patient. You just have to be patient because every single step from pictures at a property to docu-signing.
I was going to say a lot of in-person signings.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and then convincing someone that they don't have to go to settlement. So right now, most sellers don't go to settlement. We do a deed package. Less is more. Less people at settlement table is more. So just convincing them of the old school ways aren't necessarily the current ways. So, but also realizing that they probably lived in this house for 25, 30 years or more.
Years at settlement.
So just letting them know that they are running the show. I will give them options as to how it looks now, and if you want to go with them, awesome. And if you don't, that's fine too.
That's what, I'm dealing with a guy that's a little older now, and he's refinancing, and it's like I'm driving to meet him at a church 20 minutes away to go sign documents and collect things and just help him out. Yeah, it's a process.
And we end up through that. We end up also. So it's not just working with necessarily the client, but it's a lot of estates as well. So working with the executive, working with the kids. Right now, I have a listing in Huntington Valley. Great house, and it's an estate, and so just navigating that and helping, realizing that it's not just the executor making the call, there's a family involved. So just going through that.
It's probably even more you're not dealing just with one seller, you're dealing with someone who may even be grieving, 3, 4, 5 people that may be grieving and having to deal, and then God forbid there's money involved, and
they most times they grew up in the house, so there's
a lot of stuff.
There's other dynamics at work there.
You're peeling back a lot of layers, dude. Yeah, for sure. That's something good to be specialized in, though.
Yeah, no, it was once I saw that there are these things, and again, I don't want to make it I got a master's degree. But I took a class, and I actually was some classes are a waste. It was actually pretty informative, and it allows me to have this designation, which I don't feel is just a designation. I actually have some knowledge around around the topic. So
nice.
And we're going through continuing ed right now, and a lot of, at least what I just was hearing about it, and obviously this is not surprising anyone, but the baby boomers, right? It's the generation that is going to pass away soon, start relinquishing the homes and building up that inventory. But that's the perfect place for you to be in that situation.
Correct. And speaking of baby boomers, I was and getting back to my office. I was in my office today, doing my work, not wanting to talk to too many people, right? And my dad, who lives in Huntington Valley, walks in. Why? Because he couldn't figure out how to work his scanner at home. So he needed to come in and use my scanner at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's such a dad move right there, dude. Yeah. Funny. I could just picture my dad calling me right now. Yo, what are you doing? Dad, what do you want? I need help. Yeah.
Can't get my iPhone on.
Yeah, literally, dude. And then his dad will just roll up up like randomly. He'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Because his dad worked here for what? I mean, 20 years.
Oh, really? Something.
Oh,
yeah.
He worked there forever.
And he'll just like roll in. We're like, "Damn, what are you coming back from retirement?" He's like, "Nah, I just need to print something out." We're like, "All right, man, cool. Like, just use the printer, have fun."
It's like I said to him, I'm like, you know that they have scanners like on the phone now. Like you can just like, he's like, I tried that, but every scan costs $10. I'm like, you're at the wrong scanner. Like, please don't pay
Downloaded
anyone.
some Chinese app. Jesus.
Yeah,
Paying
don't.
$10 to scan it.
Right. I'm like, it costs $0.
You're like, oh, good. I'm glad you're here. It only costs $5 here at the office.
Oh my god, dude. Oh.
What did your parents do?
My mom was a teacher in Philly.
Okay.
She taught in Fishtown before it was Fishtown.
Before.
So like, she would say, we should really think about investing in some property there. And me and my dad are like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
She knew what
It
she was
looks a little sketchy.
Oh yeah.
Wish we listened. And my dad is an attorney. So he's he focuses on asbestos. So any people that are infected or they die of mesothelioma, perfect timing for him. Like he was in the DA's office, left the DA's office, and then started a firm that focused on this stuff when people were being infected.
Wow.
It is a process. So like anyone that was exposed to asbestos in like, let's say the 60s and 70s, they were showing signs in the 80s. And that's when he started his firm.
Wow.
So,
Wow. That's interesting. Holy crap, dude.
Right now he's just miserable. He's a big Penn State fan. So it's been pretty bad.
That's what my whole group chat is like. I went to Penn State. He went to Penn State. And a bunch of my buddies went, and they're all, well, they're fired up. James Franklin got fired.
Yeah, most people are. It's been pretty brutal.
It has been.
Has been a great week in Philly in general.
Oh God, last
Brutal.
3 weeks have just been awful.
Brutal. Brutal. Is there anything else you want to touch on, or we're at like?
Oh, this is way back from the beginning of the conversation, but the education piece of previous education, and you were like, oh, you got to deal with children and all that, but also the best realtors, the best loan officers, I feel like are always the people who can educate their clients. Like something we say all the time. It's like, you're not supposed to know what goes into a mortgage, especially as a first time home buyer. What we pride ourselves in is like taking the time, like when you're doing a loan application, not here's an online app. Good luck,
Right.
It's like, let's have a conversation. I always let's start with questions. You got any questions? What do you know? What do you not know? Let's start from there, and then just being an advocate for them, because you just want them to like feel empowered to make their own decisions versus like, hey, this is what you should be doing.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It's kind of like I really always want to give people options and say like, look, if it was me, I would do this, but here's the other things that you can do. And it's really whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of people in this field, I'm sure in your field and same with realtors, where they like kind of push you into feeling like you have to do something. So like even when it was crazy and there were, people were waiving inspections and people didn't want to do that, I'm like, look, you do not have to waive inspections. You probably won't get this house if you don't, but that is totally up to you. And I fully understand you not wanting to do that. So just giving people options.
Yeah, 100%. I always just tell them, look, at the end of the day, I work for you. So it's like, I can tell you what I would do or give you a situation and kind of just explain all the scenarios. But at the end of the day, you tell me what you want to do and I'll make it happen. So that's really what it comes down to. I told him about wins.
Oh, good.
I did brief him about a win. So do you have any wins that you think?
Do I have any wins? I will go. I will go one professional, one personal.
Perfect.
Love it.
Go
Good.
for it.
All right. So professional.
Actually, hold on. I'll cut you off right before you start. Go reset that real quick. So, all right, go ahead. So we got the wins now.
Okay. So professionally, so I had a client call me randomly. Like I've been working with another realtor for a year. We haven't been successful. We feel it's going in a contentious direction. We wanted to meet with you and see if you would work with us. So at that point, I talked to them. They end up putting in an offer. Second offer they put in got accepted. I now have their house listed in North Wales, and I listed it yesterday. We already have about 30 showings on it.
Wow.
So that to me, like helping someone who has experienced some bad in this industry, that's always like super gratifying.
Yeah.
So that's a huge win. And then personally, I would say my middle son plays soccer for his middle school at Sandy Run, And the other day, he had 2 goals, and he's just playing really well.
Crushing
Love
it.
watching him play. So, yeah, I love that. I just try to, I try to go stand by myself.
Yeah.
And I don't want my wife there, my other kid. I just want to just watch and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm forced.
Killer. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, when you're in the stands like that. But
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good to hear. That's great. Do you have any wins? Do you want to do a win?
I was gonna say something else, but going back to what you just said with your professional win, I had a client call me the other day, like maybe a week ago, and he's like, "Thank you so much for talking to me." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?" And he's like, "I've called 5 or 6 different loan officers, banks, lenders." He's like, "They either wouldn't talk with me or didn't want to put in the effort or didn't call me back." And he's like, "Thank you." I'm like, "Oh, well, that was easy. Like the bar was easy or low, but it, kind of the same thing where like they went through all these other, trials and tribulations, just trying to get someone on the phone,
Right.
and then you made it easy.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
customer for life.
Yep.
Right. Like
Yep.
and then we had him pre-qualified in or pre-approved in probably less than a week. It's a lot of like back and forth with his income and stuff, which is wonky, but
Right.
he's putting an offer. So like within 10 days, he's putting an offer. So
It's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, and he's psyched. So
Dope. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to do a win.
you had a good day yesterday, a good realtor day yesterday.
Had a great day yesterday. Yeah, no, I think my win would be, even though it's like a slow month as far as like new production, because we had, killer past 4 months for the office in general, and like biggest couple months of my
It's going to slow down eventually.
Yeah, and it's like I knew it was going to slow down, but like the nice thing was being able to actually see 4 years in this industry start like really paying off big time. And just as I continue like through this month, even though as far as new production goes, it's a little slow, but I'm still out like pounding the pavements, setting up meetings, doing all the stuff I should be doing.
Doing the things that
Yeah.
produce. Yeah.
Yeah, and just staying positive and getting into next year. I got a big bet with Tom next year, so I'm shooting for the stars. So we'll see what happens, but that's my win.
What's the bet?
Yeah, it's so
It benefits all of us actually. So
Yeah.
I hope you do it.
there's benefits for the office, and we're gonna need Adam's help here with it. So the side of the office over there is like we own. Tom owns this property, and I think it goes to that river over there.
Okay.
Anyway, I want a patio off the side of this office here. So in the summertime, you can go out there, maybe have a little grill or something, hang out, work outside. Like it'd be nice. And I explained that to Tom, and Tom was like, not really seeing my vision. And
Because it was coming out of his pocket.
yeah, because coming out of his pocket. So I said to him, how many loans do I have to close next year to like get a patio? And he's like, 85, he said. I was like, so if I close 85 loans next year, I was like, you'll build the patio. And he's like, and he hesitated. He's like, all right, 100. He's like,
that's a little too doable.
He's like, you do 100 loans. He's like, I will build the patio outside. And I said, I swear to God. He said, swear to God. And he said, Courtney is the witness of that bet.
Okay.
And we shook on it. So I am gunning for it right now. Like I'm setting
All
up
right.
as many meetings. I'm getting everything implemented. I'm getting everything into place. Like they got help here. I'm gonna be calling Rory. So whatever it takes, I'm gonna be like clawing for our loans.
I hope to contribute.
All right, perfect. Let's do it. And
If you
then
do, you can come over
Yeah.
and hang on our patio.
All right.
It's all done.
Can't wait.
we'll buy you whatever alcohol you want. We can come out here and sit. So
Good
that'd be
stuff.
perfect. But yeah, that's the bet. So we'll see. But you want to touch on
That's it.
anything else? I think I'm good.
Love it.
All right, awesome. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yeah. You want to link all your stuff again one more time? Who you're with? and
Sure.
your name? Yeah.
So Adam Brown, team name is Philly in the Burbs. We're with Berkshire Hathaway, licensed in Pennsylvania and Jersey, senior real estate specialist, divorce certified.
Give him a call.
Good guy.
There you
Good
go.
guy. That's probably the most important.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thanks, Adam, for coming on. Happy Friday, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Peace.
Then we receive is brand new. It's just newer. While brothers drop down to their knees and make